Another major health scare for the King of Memphis, Jerry the King Lawler, this time suffering a stroke earlier this week, I believe on Monday. I believe this is the second stroke that Jerry the King Lawler has suffered in his lifetime. He is in his 70s now. I don't have the exact age. It'll be in this clip, I believe, coming up here. Plus his heart attack on national TV. The man died on national TV. This guy seems to kick out of everything. You know, he's got 9 lives. You can't keep Jerry Lawler down. And apparently the stroke, same situation. Jerry Lawler back up and running, not at 100%, but things are looking good. Check out this clip from Bryan Alvarez over at Figure 4 Online with the Wrestling Observer Radio and giving an update on Jerry the King Lawler.
Jerry the King Lawler will make a full recovery following a massive stroke he suffered on Monday. This update from Lawler's Twitter account. 73-year-old still recovering in a Fort Myers, Florida hospital. His speech still limited. Hope for his recovery. News broke Tuesday he'd been rushed to the hospital. Lawler's former commentary teammate Jim Ross tweeted that he spoke with Lawler Tuesday night, and while he was obviously weak, Ross could still understand him despite his affected speech. Lawler's gone through heart issues in the past, suffered his first stroke in 2018, suffered a heart attack during an episode of Raw in 2012 while on commentary, which nearly killed him. He competed in a tag team match earlier on in the show. And yeah, over the last year, over the last 365 days, I think 12 matches Jerry Lawler had wrestled over the last year. So still active, some, God, 47 years in this business, something like that.
I'm glad Jerry's doing good. I think we've had enough already for the year, you know, with the Jay Briscoe thing. And then now last week we lost Lanny Poffo, the genius. So let's take a little break on some of that kind of stuff for a while. Let's get some good things in. And, you know, we weren't ready for bad news from Jerry the King Lawler, but Lawler has 9 lives. This fucking guy, I tell you, this guy will continue to kick out and fight. He's a tough old bastard. He is still wrestling to this very day. I mean, not this very day because he's recovering from the stroke, but looks like he's going to make a full recovery, and my guess is Jerry will probably be back in the ring again before the end of the year. Jerry's a tough old bastard, and look, this is what keeps him alive and strong, is continuing to wrestle. You know, once you slow down and you settle in and you start to put your past in the past, that's when you start to die. Jerry's still out there living the present. He doesn't know any better. You can't tell him any different. Jerry the King Lawler is still going to go out there and he's going to bang 20 and 30-year-olds. And he's going to keep them as girlfriends. And he's going to be the king of Memphis. And he's going to be around town. And he's going to fucking wrestle in matches. And he'll probably bleed. And he'll punch you in the face and take the strap down. And he's the king. He was just on Raw. He was on Raw 30 doing commentary. Jerry is living in the moment at all times. And I honestly, honest to God, I think that's why he's been so lucky. Is because the man he's still living life. He's not ready to hang up the boots yet. And I think, you know, those of us who have had grandparents or just anybody elderly in your life, when you've watched people either get sick or they slow down, you know, you can kind of see that happen. But you look at a guy like Jerry Lawler, or even you know, listening to one of Chris Jericho's rants. I think it was on that Mark Maron podcast. They were talking about Mick Jagger, how he's in his 70s and like how he's still out there kicking ass on stage, and they're commenting like, no, he's not just good for a old guy, he's just good still. He's Mick fucking Jagger. He's out there being a rock star. And it's the same thing with Jerry Lawler. He's a wrestler. He's out there kicking ass. Ric Flair's trying to do the same thing. These guys are still in the fight because they still got fight left in them, and that's important. I think that's very important. But, you know, look, man, we are going to run out of lives at some point too. Jerry is getting up there, and anytime stuff like this happens, it is scary. So it looks like he's going to make a full recovery and be just fine. And thank God for that. Still say an extra prayer, because you never know how things work out in this crazy ass world. But it looks like we're going to have the King around for a little bit longer, and I hope he does make a full recovery, and I hope he does get back into the ring still. Look, anybody that says, these old guys shouldn't do the fucking, let them fucking hang, as long as they're not going to have a heart attack in the middle of the ring, which is certainly possible with like a guy like Ric Flair who's on a pacemaker. Or I guess, look, Jerry Lawler had one too, so I guess I get it. I understand. But at the same time, they're not out there doing Hurricane Ranas and shit necessarily. Jerry Lawler match has always kind of basically been punches and headlocks and really basic character work and more of the gaga than it has been, actual technical prowess, if you know what I'm saying. So anyway, thoughts and prayers to Jerry the King Lawler. Glad he's going to be doing okay. And with that said, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next. Hey, thanks for checking out that clip. Don't forget to check out other clips here on the channel. And while you're there, throw a like, throw a subscribe. And don't forget to check out full episodes each and every Sunday of the Pro Wrestling Podcast.